Hello, you lovely little penguins. It's me, Lexi here, with another CachyOs video. Today we are going to look into the dual booting again because there have been some changes that seems to, well, confuse a lot of people. So I figured we make another video. This is take 3. I've been sitting all day, I've been messing up with different things. Didn't have my head clear when I was doing this video. So let's look into the different ways to dual boot with Windows today. First of all, when you're absolutely new, I guess that's why you're actually here today. There's a button here called Wiki. That Wiki button is one of your best friends when you are going to actually install something, because there's a lot of information here of different things. We are sitting on a 4K screen today, so I had to blow up everything to 150% and add some extra scaling to it, so you guys can see on phones. Even grandma on 80 that doesn't see well should be seeing things on my screen right now. So you're greeted with this screen right here. So we are going to explore, and here we have from downloading. We have what you do to get your download onto USB and booting it from Balena Etcher. It's one of those you can use. Most people, well, I think most people use different types here. Many are known with Rufus. My personal thing is Ventoy. It makes pretty much one partition on your USB with the bootloader, and then the rest is a new partition where you have all the free space. On all that free space you can pretty much put all ISOs onto the USB. If you have 25 different ISO of Windows, Linux, whatsoever, just put all the ISO into that and you get a menu to boot the preferable ISO, right? Boot managers, system deboot, pretty much what you use if you don't dual boot nowadays. You can do it, but it's much easier with refined. Grub is something many people also use, but today we are actually going to look into refined. I'm going to speed run you through different things here. Here are different types of file systems, what the pros, the cons. I'm going to talk more about that later on. We have a lot of environments, but we are going to look into the KDE Plasma today. It's pretty much most people use. And here comes some part of what have changed since last time we did a dual boot. So from the last video, we are making a 2 GB disk right here. FAT32 and boot. Last time we looked into this and did the partition manually, where we shrank our disk in Windows, and we had boot/EFI, and what it did back then, it was migrating into Windows, the boot partitioner, but we have separated us from Windows in case something should happen in either operating systems. At least you can boot something, right? So that's pretty much about that, let's look at Crude. Crude is when you want to auto-mount your disks, so it's mounted when you get into Linux. Not many have that out of the box. There's different ways to do it. We are going to look into how we do that. So when you are into the launch installer, like here on the live ISO, you bring up your terminal, you write in sudo pacman c CachyOs and then into the CachyOs. You can pretty much look how it looks right here into the console. Okay, I need to update everything first and set up the disk. Let's ignore that for now, but pretty much we need to have super users and everything. Hang on. I'm still rambling and we are still not having our head intact today, so don't mind that. So we're in there, we're going to pacman. Oh, we are in English keyboard, so nothing works like on the Norwegian one, so bear in mind that. Cachy, let's see, was it that? No, Crude, so it updates it to the latest version like that, and we do our CachyOs. And if I want to, let's say, have this disk right here to auto mount the next time, I press enter and I press yes the next and restart my computer afterwards. That's pretty much how you auto mount quickly nowadays. You can do it by looking into terminal, doing on the old ways. There's a lot of guides for that, but this one is pretty easy when you want to mount anything. So now you know about that. Close window, and there's not much else we need here right now. But let's go into the video. I just wanted to point out that there is so much information here. Instead of you going around looking in the sky and don't know what to do, this will help you a lot to just read the wiki. Not many do that. They tend to come on my channel asking the questions, even it's right here. So I'm not a support channel. I'm pretty much a community guy that makes some guides here and there. So if you want support, either make a ticket on CachyOs or go into Discord of CachyOs. Everyone has Discord nowadays, pretty much, and you get support right away by the community instead of waiting for me on YouTube to reply, because I wake up to many users with different problems and can take some time for me to reply on those. So please use the wiki and use the support on Discord if you want help. Let's start into the video right now and see how we do different things. So we do the launch installer, and right here we are going with the refined. And here, choose whatever you need for your language of the operating system. Next, here it sees that I'm in Norway. Correctamundo. And my keyboard is Norwegian, and Norwegian with no dead keys. So let's look at the different ways to do this now. If I was over here, we are going to install it on this disk. I have two disks mainly I use for Linux right here. I know who's going where, but if you have problems with identifying what is what in a lot of disks like this, I highly suggest that you go down here and you go for gparted. Oops. Open up this one right here. It can help you a lot, because here you see this is an NTFS disk, and this one is pretty much blank. This one is blank. So take note of the disks up here and VME 3, 2, and 1, because that is something we also see up here. Let's say you did the same as in my previous video of dual booting, that you want to manual partition into the Windows disk. If you just have one disk, you will go over here and we want to create a disk, and we have 2048 like that, and we have FAT32. Here you go in and put /boot, and you want to have the flag as boot and create like that. And now for the Linux partition itself, you create again, and depending on what you're going to do here, if you're a new user, you go with the BTRFS or ButterFS, as some call it. Pick your poison. You will choose a mounting point and just / and OK. So this will be your 2 gig of partition for your bootloader, and this will be your Linux. Okay? So watch my other video about this, because things have changed. Before we had over here, it was marked differently with /boot/EFI into the Windows partition. We don't do that anymore. We make a separate 2 gigabyte partition with only /boot, nothing else. All right? That's how you do it with one disk. Now we're going to do it the other way, a really easy way, like I'm going to do it right now. Let's go back out of that. Let's say you have more disks on your computer. You found your disk, you checked your gparted or whatsoever, so you know you have your right disk right here. You can erase disk. This is really easy. Then it will partition everything for you. Choose what you want here. This one has a backup feature. This backup feature is not something that is active out of the box, just that you know. This is something you activate when you have installed it. So you don't install it and start using Linux and think you have backup. It's not a true backup, but it's snapshots where you can go back in time to save your system if something bad happen, like you screw up something with a package or something. It's kind of easy. Then you just restore it and everything is back to normal. For me, I'm going to choose ext4, just for the speeds of my disks right here. The Btrfs is quick, but ext4 is quicker, and I don't need backup. Linux for me is a hobby. Same with this channel. I don't do this for subs or for follows or the money or anything. This is just me being on, let's say, an open source person. Let's see. Now we have our disk, we have our file system, and just press next. Here you choose either GNOME, Plasma, or whatever type of environment you want to be in. The most used today, and something as on Windows users, you pretty much want to go into Plasma, because this kind of reminds you of Windows in a way. Let's say you come from Mac or Apple. GNOME will be pretty similar as well to that operative system, so maybe this one is more for you. But for my sake, I gotten used to Plasma Desktop, so we're going to use that. So here you have bits and bobs. Here you don't really do anything. For me, in my installation right now, I'm not going to have my Cachy browser. It's Firefox. I use something else. There's been some controversial things about Firefox as well, but that's not the reason I'm moving away from it. But you have the options for choosing yourself. If you are more of a seasoned user, you can choose things that you want to install with it. But we are going to do it like this for now. The Cachy browser is really good. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I use something else and I've gotten used to it. I have my logins, my passwords, my everything, and I don't migrate things right now. That's just the reason. So nothing wrong about this. So it's a nice browser. Just go with it. So let's have our computer name right here, or your username, and we are going to be CachyOS, by the way, because we are Arch Linux users. And your password, you can't put 234 and things like that, or an X. You need a proper password here. It's for your own safety. So here we go. This installation process in itself, without me blabbering around, is pretty much 4 to 5 minutes, depending how fast your system is. Let's see, is there something else we need to talk about just to get the time going right here, or we can pause it. I'll come back when everything is done, because it is what it is. There's nothing to sit around and talk about right here. Okay, so we are done. Pretty much press restart and done. When it restarts now, make sure in your BIOS that you have Refined Bootloader as your first boot, and you get a graphical interface afterwards with Windows and Linux. You might have like 2 Linux. Pretty much every time it's the one to the farthest right for the CachyOS. I have no clue why they have 2, but try booting into it and make note of it. You can also delete the other one, so you just have Windows and Linux. Okay. After this video, I will make a guide of what I'm doing when I get into Linux, how I set up my Linux. So if you want to watch that, just watch the next Linux video from me, probably coming up in a few hours. Thank you.